Ephesians 4 verse 1. It's the apostle speaking in the Spirit. He says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord. The prisoner of the Lord. It's very interesting what he says. Now, Paul was many times in prison. We know that he even fought as a gladiator. At some point, because they used Christians to fight as gladiators against their own will in the Roman time, Roman Empire. So, Paul said, I carry the marks of an apostle on my back. I fought with wild beasts, meaning he was a gladiator. At some point, he was in prison being used as a gladiator against his own will. Okay? Therefore, he says here again, I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord. But you can also see it like that. Many of us is in prison. Paul was also in another way in prison. He had not good eyes. I think he had similar eyes than mine. Now, let me tell you, it's a type of to be in prison with eyes like that. Now, I'm not going to feel inferior because of that. Why doesn't God heal me? Why didn't he heal Paul? Paul pleaded with the Lord 3 times, Lord, remove this thorn in the flesh from me. And God said to him, my grace is sufficient for you. Amen. Paul was never delivered of this thorn. I don't know what was his thorn exactly, but then God said to him, this thorn was given to you to keep you humble. Because we all, human, our flesh, struggle with pride and arrogance. The moment we become successful, we think we are self-made. That is our biggest problem and stand between us and being used by God. In whatever way you want to use us, whether it's finances, I told you now, whether preaching, whatever, it's pride. But it was given to Paul, a thorn in the flesh, to keep him humble. I think he had similar eyes than mine. I therefore the prison. He was in prison concerning his eyes. He was also in prison concerning his health. Paul was not a very healthy man. But you don't understand it, but you don't have to understand it. He prayed for so many other people who got healed. When he was in Galatia, he became sick. He was a sick man when they received him there, and they treated him as an angel. And there he worked great miracles among the people. And that's what he said. I did not come to you with eloquence of speech, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power. That the same guy at that same time was quite sick. He said, I came to you. I was sick, but you treated me as an angel. Why? They didn't look unto his physical condition. They saw God confirming his word with signs and wonders. Now, why was it necessary for Paul? Now, listen, before I preach on, you're not an apostle. Say to guys, you're not an apostle. You don't need a thorn in the flesh to keep you humble, okay? Paul was the one apostle that received the more great revelations than all the others. But remember, he was the least of the apostles. He said so himself, and the Bible cannot lie. He was the least of the apostles because he persecuted the Christians before he became an apostle. He dragged them out of their houses and locked them up. So he was the least of the apostles. And then he says himself, I'm not worthy to be called an apostle, but by God's grace, I am what I am. Say, by God's grace. Although the least of the apostles, by God's grace, he became an apostle. So do you think he deserved to be an apostle? Huh? I mean, he was dragging the Christians out of their houses and locked them up before he walked into Jesus. My question to you is, do you think he was worthy to be an apostle? Huh? He said, I'm not worthy to be an apostle. I'm the least of the apostles. But by God's grace, I am what I am. And then the guy whom God sent to him when he walked into Jesus and he became blind, Ananias, God said to him, Ananias, go and lay your hands on Saul. And he said, Lord, I cannot do this. This guy is persecuting us. He's locking us up. God said, I will show you how much he must suffer for my name. So Paul had a raw deal. But the grace was, he was now working in the kingdom of heaven as an apostle. He didn't deserve it, nothing. Okay? Just to give you a background about his life. And then he says, the idea for the prisoner of the Lord, he was many times in prison, but he also had prison. He was in prison in his own body. Many of you, you're in prison concerning your finances. You're in prison concerning your health. You're in prison concerning your emotional health. Some of you cannot get rid of the past. You're in a prison. And that's not good to be there. I mean, you need to get free. Hallelujah. So what Jesus is going to tell you tonight is, you don't have to sit in a prison. Amen. Say to yourself, you're not an apostle. You don't need a thorn in your flesh to keep you humble. But I tell you, we get so quickly puffed up. So quickly. The moment we taste success, we think we are something. We think we made ourselves. And you can say tonight to me now, I will not be like that. Till you taste success, then we will speak again. You can never tell the way you will be till you tasted success. The true you will come forward when you tasted success.